Cloud computing involves the use of software, data and computer technology via the cloud, a metaphorical term meaning the internet. Services that are accessed through cloud computing are operated by storing and using data from the cloud, rather than the user's hard drive. While described as the cloud, data accessed on it or resources used from it is actually sitting on a storage server somewhere. Cloud computing allows a user to access data and services without the need to have certain software or hardware components installed on their own computer. This allows them to access utilities without necessary software updates and the latest version of a program. This is because when a program requires a security patch or enhancement, the changes are made on the web servers rather than the user's own computer. When explaining cloud computing systems, they can be divided into two sections, the front end and the back end. The front and back ends connect to each other through a specified network, which is usually the internet. The front end is the site that the user accesses and sees, whereas the back end is the cloud. The front end encompasses the user's computer, or in some cases a computer network, as well as the application that is needed to access the cloud computing system. All that is required by the user is the cloud computing system's interface software, which can be as simple as a web browser, in order to access data and services, while the cloud handles the software and hardware. On the back end lies the various computers, servers, and dedicated data storage devices making up the cloud of the computing services. The hardware and software of a computing system are connected by a network, allowing all components equal capabilities. In a system, a central server is utilized for administration, monitoring network traffic and user demands to ensure that the system runs smoothly. When a front-end user accesses the back-end, they are connecting to a network of computers, from which they can temporarily access data and program services. Cloud applications leverage the cloud in software architecture, often voiding the need to install and run an application on a user's own computer. This also removes the burden of software maintenance, ongoing operation, and support. Cloud clients are computer hardware and software which rely on the cloud for application delivery. Cloud storage involves the delivery of data storage as a service, which is often billed on a utility computing basis, relating to the use of resources used, rather than a specified standard rate. Data relating to such services is stored on the cloud. A cloud platform facilitates deployment of applications, minus the cost and complexity of buying and managing the underlying hardware and software layers therein. A cloud service is software systems designed to provide support for interoperable machine-to-machine interaction carried out over a network, which could be accessed via other cloud computing components, software, or end users directly. A cloud computing provider, also known as a cloud computing service provider, owns and operates live computing systems in order to deliver services to third parties, which generally requires significant resources and expertise in the building and managing of next-generation data centers. A user is simply a consumer of cloud computing systems. They gain benefit out of utilizing the data and services offered by such systems. The privacy of such users in cloud computing has become a cause of concern. The rights of users is also an issue which is being addressed. addressed via a community effort. A vendor's role is to sell products and services, namely hardware and software, that facilitates the delivery, adoption, and use of cloud computing. Advantages of using cloud computing include: there are little, if any, software and/or hardware requirements to access and run certain services and resources. Considerable amounts of digital storage are saved, as cloud computing gives companies the option of storing digital data on someone else's or another company's hardware, avoiding the need to have the necessary physical space on the front end. And hardware and software costs are down considerably, as there is no need to run the fastest computer to have the latest up-to-date software, because the cloud compensates through allowing access to such services with little, if any, prerequisites. Disadvantages of using cloud computing include: cloud computing relies completely on network connections. Therefore, if the network goes down, you cannot access services until it is back up. Similarly, if the network gets bogged down with many users, then rudimentary computing will become considerably slower. Privacy concerns relating to handing over important information to another company is also a negative. Not only does this invade privacy, but the information could be used against them for other purposes. Also, cloud computing doesn't use a hard drive. This is detrimental in the sense that some applications or hardware might require having a hard drive attached to the computer, which therefore might be hard to get working properly with the hard drive on a remote server.